The wise man is like water. A wise person is like water, flowing past obstacles without losing its form or structure. This single quote from Confucius has now evolved into an entire field of psychology, positive psychology. Train your mind in a way that nothing disturbs you. It's a simple yet highly effective approach. Research shows that applying this mindset reduces stress by 79% in individuals aged 25 to 60, an impressive statistic. So let's explore this ancient Chinese wisdom and understand how it helps us maintain focus in today's chaotic world. In this video, we will answer 4 essential questions. 1. Why do we get affected by people's words? 2. Why shouldn't we avoid criticism from those around us? In fact, why should we welcome it? 3. How can we become stronger after facing failures? 4. How can we prevent disturbing situations from messing with our focus? Question 1. Why do we get affected by people's words? This is a cognitive bias that primarily affects individuals who haven't defined themselves internally. If you easily get upset by others' behavior, Confucius says it's due to a lack of inner richness. A person who has a strong inner identity and a personal worldview is far less affected by external criticism. Imagine insulting a wise and thoughtful person. How would they respond? Now imagine insulting someone with no inner foundation. They would instantly become furious, engaging in arguments and fights. Why? Because their identity is shaped by others' opinions. If someone insults them, they internalize those words and begin to see themselves as small and worthless. So if you find yourself frequently disturbed by people's words or actions, it's a sign to look within yourself. Of course, if toxic people constantly display such behavior, anyone would feel disturbed in a negative environment. However, excessive sensitivity might still stem from a lack of inner strength. We should always surround ourselves with good, healthy, and insightful people, while also staying away from toxic individuals. But let's be honest, who can claim they've never encountered toxic people? That's why, instead of merely avoiding negativity, we should learn to embrace it. Wait, what? Embrace it? Yes, and we'll explain why this is crucial. Question 2. Why should we sometimes welcome negative behavior from others? Let me share a fascinating story. In a protected forest, deer lived peacefully with no threats from predators. However, there was a problem. They kept dying for no apparent reason. Why? An unhealthy lifestyle. Sounds strange, right? It's not like deer were eating junk food. No, but because they were never chased or stressed, their bodies became weak and imbalanced. The solution? Introducing a few predators into the area. Over time, the mysterious deaths stopped completely because now the deer had to run, escape, and experience stress, which kept their bodies strong and healthy. This applies to humans as well. Too much comfort and a stress-free life make us weak. When you exercise, you put yourself through controlled stress to strengthen your body and mind. If you avoid all stressful interactions and surround yourself only with comfort, your threshold for stress drops, making you weaker and more fragile over time. So instead of running from small difficulties, we should welcome them, just like a vaccine that helps our body build immunity. Now the next question arises, how do we turn setbacks into opportunities for strength? Question 3. How can we become stronger after failures? This is where the concept of anti-fragility comes into play, a concept that can truly change your life. Anti-fragility doesn't mean being tough or indestructible. In fact, anti-fragile individuals fail, but they absorb failure and grow stronger from it. What does that mean? In ancient mythology, there's a story of a 3-headed dragon. If you cut off one of its heads, 2 or 3 more grow in its place. That's exactly what anti-fragility is. Instead of just resisting pressure, it absorbs it and transforms it into power. Good news, the human body and mind are naturally anti-fragile. Rather than letting stress break you, you can use it as a stepping stone for growth. Confucius says, instead of running from problems or letting them hurt you, why not use them to become wiser and stronger? A perfect example was during the COVID-19 crisis, which forced many businesses to shut down or even go bankrupt. But the clever ones saw an opportunity, moved their businesses online, and grew even more successful than before. Question 4. How can we train ourselves to stay unbothered? One of the biggest reasons something bothers us is our perspective on the situation. For example, imagine receiving a phone call saying you just won the lottery. Overjoyed, you jump in your car to go claim your prize. But on the way, you get into a car accident. How would you react? You'd probably say, "Of course, just my luck." The one time something good happens, it gets ruined. Now imagine the reverse. You're driving, you get into a car accident, but after the crash, you get a phone call saying you won the lottery. How do you feel about the accident now? Do you react the same way? Of course not. You're so happy about the lottery win that you barely care about the accident. This proves that the way we perceive challenges depends on the situation we are in at that moment. If you're in a good mood with high energy, even the worst events won't affect you much. But if you're already feeling down, even the smallest inconvenience can ruin your day. So when something bothers you, ask yourself, if I had just won the lottery, would this still upset me? If your answer is no, then your frustration isn't real. It's just based on your current emotional state. Final thoughts. Many people believe happiness comes from a stress-free life, but psychological research shows that real joy and fulfillment come from engaging in meaningful challenges and personal growth. Confucius said, "A wise person not only knows what is right, but also understands how to interact with the world." One day you'll realize happiness isn't in your job, your degree, or your relationships. Happiness isn't about following others. It's not about fitting in. True happiness comes from discovering yourself, listening to your inner voice, and following it. Happiness is about being kind to yourself, embracing who you're becoming, and learning how to live in harmony with yourself. And in the end, you'll see your joy and sadness were never in someone else's hands. It was all about your perspective on the world.